No one, and I mean absolutely no one, saw this coming. Not Meghan, not her carefully polished team, not even the people who've built their entire careers digging through her past like treasure hunters looking for gold. It all began with something so simple, so harmless looking, you wouldn't believe the storm it unleashed. A single screenshot, just one blurry image floating online. At first glance, it seemed ordinary, nothing anyone would care about. The date said 2016. The name on it? Some guy called Adam Hound. Not a celebrity, not a politician, just a random man whose name would have never mattered. Until now. The message? Hey, if you're free, come join Yacht Week in Croatia. That's it. That's all it said. Casual, breezy, like an old friend inviting you to grab coffee. But the moment that screenshot resurfaced years later, it wasn't breezy anymore. Oh no, it was heavy, it was suspicious, and it was loaded. Within hours, the internet wasn't asking where Meghan was in 2016. They were asking who she really was back then. And here's the juicy part. Word from inside Meghan's own circle is that she was completely blindsided. She'd spent years trying to bury the whispers from her Hollywood past, carefully erasing the echoes of her early days. But this one picture, this one casual invite, it ripped that old door wide open, and Meghan could do nothing but watch as everyone peered inside. See, these weren't new whispers. Yacht girl Meghan was gossip that had floated around before, but this was different. This wasn't rumor anymore. This was evidence, a date, a name, an actual invitation that painted an entire picture without saying another word. And let me tell you, this is where the story starts getting wild, because in this saga, every single photo, every screenshot, every rumor has a heartbeat. And this little screenshot, oh, it had a pulse. To really understand why the world went crazy over it, you have to step back into 2016. Picture it. The height of Europe's Yacht Week scene. The Adriatic Sea was basically a red carpet, only floating. The world's richest and most glamorous anchored their luxury yachts along the Croatian and Montenegrin coasts. And on those boats, endless champagne, billionaire heirs, celebrity friends, and women who weren't just there to party. They were there with a mission. Because let's get this straight, to outsiders, it looked like pure glitz and glamour. But insiders, they'll tell you it was strategic survival. Every guest list was curated like an Oscar party. Every handshake, every smile, every introduction. It all had value. In that world, access was the ultimate currency, and Meghan knew exactly how to spend it. Sources from that very circuit say Meghan wasn't just there to sip cocktails and take selfies. She was ambitious, razor-focused, and endlessly social. The kind of woman who could glide into a room and make everyone feel like they'd known her forever. Her charm wasn't loud. It was subtle, tactical. She remembered names. She followed up. She built bridges. And in Hollywood, that wasn't called manipulation. That was called survival. For Meghan, Yacht Week wasn't just a summer fling. It was a door, a golden, glittering door to a whole new world. And let's be clear, she didn't just walk through it casually. She walked in with intent. And guess where that intent took her? Straight into the dimly lit halls of Soho House, the very place where power didn't just hide, it thrived. If you think Soho House was just another private club, think again. It was its own universe. Candlelight flickered, soft music hummed, and around every corner was someone who could change your life overnight. Producers, aristocrats, politicians, even the occasional prince. And Meghan? Oh, she wasn't some shy guest hoping to be noticed. She was a regular. People knew her name. They knew her laugh. She mingled like she belonged there, and let me tell you, she did, because it was here in this carefully crafted world that the first invisible threads of her royal destiny started weaving. A friend of a friend, a private dinner, a shared table. Those little moments blurred the line between Hollywood actress and future duchess. Forget the fairy tale blind date story they sold the world. That wasn't the real beginning. This was. Now here's where things take a darker twist. There's a name that no one, and I mean no one, likes to say too loudly when they talk about Meghan's pre-royal years. Prince Andrew. Yes, that Andrew. The circles back then weren't as separate as the palace wants you to believe. Parties in the Mediterranean, glamorous charity events in Monaco, late-night gatherings in London's most exclusive private clubs. Guess what? The guest lists often overlapped. And while no one is outright saying Meghan was wrapped up in anything scandalous, the mere implication was enough to shake things. Think about it. If Meghan even brushed shoulders with Andrew's crowd before she officially met Harry, the story we've all been sold, this magical outsider swept into royal life by chance, suddenly crumbles. Because then it's not fate, it's design. And let me tell you, London's old socialites know. One of them even spilled that this was the very secret no one wanted reopened. Because if you believe Meghan was already familiar to royal-adjacent circles years before Harry, then her rise wasn't sudden, it wasn't innocent, it was calculated. For years, people have whispered the same theory behind closed doors. Meghan's royal story wasn't lightning striking out of nowhere. It was years of careful moves, quiet introductions, private gatherings, and connections too delicate to ever make the tabloids. So when she finally met Harry in 2016, she wasn't stepping into a brand new world. She was simply moving up a level in a world she already understood. And then came that infamous documentary. Remember it? A German production company promised the definitive exposé on Meghan's pre-palace life. Insiders swore it had everything: interviews, unseen footage, even alleged yacht circuit ties. People were bracing themselves for scandal, but when it finally dropped, oh, the disappointment. It was watered down, soft, forgettable. People expected fire, but they got lukewarm tea. Except, and here's the kicker, those close to the production said it wasn't always that bland. Rumor has it that last-minute cuts ripped out the juiciest details. Whole segments linking Meghan's early Hollywood grind to European elites, gone. Yacht mentions, cut. Soho House name drops, snipped. According to one editor, they got direct orders to pull anything that couldn't be 100% confirmed legally. But let's be real here. The stuff cut out, that's exactly what made the whispers burn hotter. Because when stories vanish, it's never an accident. In Meghan's old world, information doesn't just disappear, it's protected. And silence, darling, speaks louder than words. And here's where things get even spookier. Everyone else from Meghan's Hollywood era, you can still find traces of them everywhere. Red carpet shots, old gossip blogs, random interviews. But Meghan, it's like someone swept a giant magnet across the internet and erased her footprint. Former Hollywood insiders even claim this was deliberate. In the years before she officially entered the palace, teams were allegedly hired to curate her image. Anything that didn't fit the fresh outsider narrative, poof, gone. The carefree actress at parties, the ambitious yacht networker, the bold social climber, all scrubbed clean. By the time she crossed that royal threshold, her story was shiny, polished, and perfect. The struggling Hollywood star was reborn as the innocent outsider, untouched by scandal. And it worked. For years, people bought into it. But tides? Oh, tides don't forget. They just wait. And now, every time one of these forgotten images resurfaces, that carefully polished palace fairy tale starts to crack. Because what Meghan erased, the internet keeps dragging back. And here's the part that drives people insane. Meghan has never, not once, publicly denied those yacht girl whispers. Think about it. She's gone after tabloids before. She's sued papers, slammed racist headlines, corrected misquotes, even gone head-to-head with publishers in court. Meghan doesn't shy away from defending her image, but this topic? Silence. Dead silence. And you know what insiders say? When something's harmless, you laugh it off. When it's dangerous, you go quiet. And Meghan's silence? Oh, it feels calculated. It doesn't feel like fear, it feels like precision. Every time those whispers come back, her team does the exact same thing. Nothing. They let the storm rage online, and eventually it dies down. Why? Because if she even acknowledged it, even to deny it, she'd be giving it power. But here's the side effect. When silence replaces explanation, mystery rushes in to fill the gap. And let's be honest, nothing fuels the public's obsession like mystery. For years, the world gobbled up the fairy tale. The actress and the prince, two souls from different worlds, coming together by fate. But what if it wasn't fate at all? What if it was timing, planning, and years of carefully built connections? That's the version whispered in private circles. That Meghan didn't stumble into the royal family. She climbed there. And that's what unsettles the establishment most. She didn't just walk into their world. She rewrote the rules. The palace wanted the narrative of innocence. The Hollywood outsider swept into royalty by chance. But what they got? A strategist. A woman who treated her rise like a chessboard, moving piece by piece, never missing a step. That's not scandal, that's power. And maybe that's why the yacht girl story never really dies. Because deep down, it isn't about boats or parties. It's about something far more threatening to the old establishment. A woman who refused to wait for fate and instead designed her own. Now let's talk about why this rumor cycle keeps coming back like a ghost that won't stay buried. Every few years, it happens. A blurry photo, a snippet of gossip, a forgotten name, and boom, Meghan's past is on fire again. The names change, the so-called sources shift, but the shadow always remains. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real reason this story won't die. Because it's not about her past, it's about her transformation. She went from Hollywood lights to royal halls, from being the woman on a yacht to being the woman rewriting palace rules. And the world still can't decide, should they admire her for it or expose her? Even now, behind every polished interview, every PR statement, every controlled photo op, there's tension. This feeling that something larger once happened, something carefully hidden in the background, something only a select few remember. One insider said it perfectly, it's not what she did, it's where she did it, and who was watching. And that, darling, is why we're all still watching today. Because every time an old picture pops up, it doesn't just drag Meghan's past back into the spotlight. It reminds us of her evolution, from actress to duchess, from outsider to insider. And maybe that's why, in the end, her silence isn't weakness at all. It's her greatest weapon, not because she's hiding, but because she knows one truth better than anyone else. Mystery is the only story no one can take away from her.